Good morning, students. In the previous class, we discussed portfolio analysis, which is the first method which is used to take specific decisions under corporate strategy. Now, let us move on to display matrices. Under display matrices, there are two types of matrices, there is BCG and there is GE. Let us see the first matrix. That is BCG. BCG stands for Boston Consultancy Group Matrix. Now, in Boston Consultancy Group Matrix, as you can see, there are four quadrants. Now, what these four quadrants are, let us understand. The BCG growth matrix is the simplest way to portray a corporation's portfolio of investments. So, basically, a BCG approach, what happens is a company classifies its different businesses, that is, the different businesses, the strategic business units which an organization has, all those businesses and the different product lines of an organization are basically classified into these four quadrants, that is the products or the strategic business units which an organization is operating, all of them can be classified into these four types. Then, in the matrix, as you can see, the classification will happen based on the market growth rate and the market share. Okay, so the vertical axis represents the market growth rate, which provides a measure for market attractiveness. That is, how attracted are the consumers towards your product, it is determined by the market growth rate. Moving on to the horizontal axis, it represents the relative market share and measures the company's strength in the market. Market share is basically what position your company is in the market. Is it a market leader? Is it among the top 10 companies or not? That is determined based on the market share. Whereas the market growth rate, it tells you whether the consumers are attracted towards the market, whether the consumers are interested in your product. That is determined based on the market growth rate. Whereas the market share, it tells you whether your company is a market leader or is it not. Okay, so that is the basic classification. Now, using this matrix, basically an organization can classify its products and strategic business units into stars, question mark, cash flows, and dogs. Now, let us move on to understand the first one, that is the star. In star, as you can see that the market growth rate is very high, as well as the market share is also very high, right? So, in stars are basically products or strategic business units that are growing rapidly. Okay, since they are growing rapidly, they also need heavy investments. Why? Since there is demand for their products, since they are the market leader in the product, consumers are demanding their product more and more, and as a result, they will require funds, a lot of funds, in order to continue manufacturing and continue their operations. Okay, so that's the reason why they need very heavy investment to maintain the position and to continue their operations. Okay, which will basically finance the rapid growth of that company or that product, and they also represent best opportunities for expansion. So stars are basically the market leaders, as well as they have high market growth rate. So basically people want your product and you are the market leader of that product. Now, nowadays, due to due to since we are in a pandemic, there is a need for masks, right? And the best mask manufacturer will get the highest uh, sale, isn't it? Many consumers will go to him only, isn't it? The same thing is happening with stars. That is, the consumers basically want that product, they are attracted towards that product, and your company is the market leader in manufacturing that product. That is stars. Now, moving on to the next one, that is the cash cows. In cash cows, as you can see, that the market growth rate is low, but you are the market leader. That is, the market share is high. So basically, people are not attracted towards a product, but you are the market leader in that product. So even if one person wants to buy that product, say, they will come to you only because you are the market leader in that product. So cash cows, they basically have low growth rate but high market share. They generate cash and have low cost. They have low cost because cash cows are basically established successful companies or successful and established products and need very less investment to maintain their market share. In long run, when growth rate slows down, stars become cash cows. As we know that when a new product is launched in the market, initially the consumers are highly attracted towards it. But over a period of time, the attraction may reduce, and as a result, it may That is, the stars may become cash cows because stars are the products where the attraction among the customers is the highest. That is, all the consumers want your product. But over a period of time, say 2 3 years later, everybody may have your product and don't feel the need to buy more. As a result, the attraction may reduce over a period of time and stars may become cash cows. Moving on to the next one, that is the question mark. As you can see, question mark, there is high market growth rate. That is, consumers are attracted towards the product. There is demand for that product, but you are not the market leader. That is, the market share is very low. Okay, so that is question mark. So there is a potential for your product, but due to some reasons, your competitors are making good business than you. There is demand for the product that you are producing, but your competitors are also producing the same product and are attracting all the consumers. Why is that so? Maybe there is some shortcoming from your end, so you need to detect that and you need to address why consumers are not coming to you when you are selling the same product and they are going to your competitors who are basically selling the same product. So that reason you need to identify and address if you want to survive in the market. Okay, so this question mark is also called as problem child or wild cats and have the lowest market share, though the growth rate is very high in the market. So it requires a lot of cash to hold their share. Why it requires a lot of cash to hold their share? Now, out of 100 people, 10 people are just coming to you to buy that product. 90 people are going to your competitor. So in order to attract consumers, you will have to give them lot of discounts, free gifts, vouchers and all that. So you will need to invest a lot and high cost will be involved if you want to maintain your share, because over a period of time, even if you're not giving the 10 people who are coming to you, if you're not giving them any advantage like discount or maybe a voucher or gift, they will also go to your competitor, because out of the 100 people, 90 people are going to your competitor and only 10 people are coming to you. So in order to maintain those 10 people, those 10 consumers, you need to give them something more like a discount or so. That is the reason why it needs a lot of cash to hold the share, the existing market share. To hold it, they will need a lot of share. Okay, they need to make very heavy investments, like give discounts or give vouchers and all in order to maintain that position. Okay, now, question mark, if an organization is able to detect the reasons why their product is not preferred by the consumers, and out of 190 people are going to the competitors, though the competitor and your organization is selling the same product, still 90 people are going to your competitor. Why they are not coming to you? If you identify the reason, okay, and if you correct that reason, then you have the potential to become the market leader. So the question mark has a potential to become a star if all these things are taken. In the sense, you identify what is the reason why your competitors are selling more and why are consumers not preferring your product. If you identify that, well and good, you can become the star. So question mark has the potential of getting converted into star if all the things or all the questions are addressed. Okay, then coming to dogs. Now usually we call people dogs when we are irritated with them, right? So the same terminology applies over here. Dogs are those industries who are just a headache for the organization. Okay, they have the lowest market share and lowest market growth rate. So people are not interested in that product, and your company is not the market leader also in that product. Okay, so dogs are a headache for the organization because they generate very low cash, and the cost is so high. At times, they may not even generate enough cash to maintain themselves. Okay, so dogs are basically those organizations where an organization, sorry, those businesses where an organization will have to take a decision whether to go for liquidation or to go for disinvestment. Okay, so these are the different categories or quadrants under which the different products or strategic business units can be classified. Now, moving ahead to different trajectories. Now, based on all this classification, based on all these four quadrants, basically, there are different paths. Okay, there are two paths of success and two paths of failure trajectories. So, the first path is the innovative path. Okay, So that what is this innovative path? It basically uses financial resources generated by strategic business unit or products falling under cash cows to invest and enter markets with a new product that replaces the existing star product. Now, innovative path is basically, now as I told you, cash cows, they generate a lot of cash, and the investment cost or cost of investment is very low when it comes to cash cows, because cash cows are basically the companies who have been operating for a lot of years, and they have that experience and have are established now and are successful, and they don't require huge cost of investment in them. So as a result, what you can do is, since they are generating lot of cash without much of investment, that cash can be utilized in order to enter a new market or to develop a new product which you can launch as a star in the market. That is a new product, a innovative product. You can enter the market and be the first market leader to launch that product, thus gaining the highest market share and attracting the consumer's attention as well. So that is one path which you cannot. That is, the cash flows which are generated from cash cows can be used to expand, basically enter a new market or invent a new product and launch it in the market. Basically, a star product launch. Okay, so entering the market as a star product using the cash from the cash cows. So that is one path. Moving on to second path, it is the stalker's path. Now, what happens in stalker's path is that basically the organization use resources bought by strategic business unit or product falling under cash cows, enters as strategic business unit under question mark in a market dominated by a leader, and adopts aggressive strategy of growth of market share. So basically, under stalker path, what you're doing is the same thing. Whatever cash flows is generated from the cash cows, you are taking it out from the cash flow, sorry, you are taking it out from the cash cow quadrant, and you are investing it in a product which is already existing in the market. There is an existing market leader in a market. Okay, you are just talking their product. So basically, there is a company, say, who is doing very good business with respect to a certain biscuit. Okay, they have manufactured this biscuit which is very innovative, and like the chocolate is like it's a chocolate biscuit, and it is the raw materials have been bought from some outside European markets, like Swiss chocolate and all is used in that biscuit, for example, and they are doing very good business. Say they are the market leaders in that biscuit segment. So you feel okay, they are doing very well, they are the market leader in the segment. I have a cash cow product or a cash cow strategic business unit which is generating a lot of cash. So what I will do is I will extract that cash, okay, from the cash cows and enter that market and manufacture those same biscuits and give a tough competition to that market leader which is already existing in the market. So basically, you are removing cash from cash cows and entering a market with an already existing product and an already existing market leader. Okay, and then you are using some aggressive strategies and trying to become the market leader. There is an existing market leader manufacturing those biscuits. You are just stalking them, copying their same product, copying the same recipe and the same product, launching it in that market, then using aggressive strategy in order to become the market leader and throw away the competitor who is currently the market leader. Okay, that is the stalker's path. Now, moving on to the third one, that is the trajectory of disaster. In this, what happens is a strategic business unit or a product falling under the star quadrant reduces its market share as a result of some underinvestment and becomes a question mark. Now, I told you that if all the questions are addressed under question mark, that is, if an organization identifies why its products are not attracting the consumers or why its business is not doing well, if they address those questions and implement changes, they have the potential to become a star. So a question mark has a potential to become a star. Now, trajectory of disaster is basically when you are the market leader and you have the highest market share. You are basically falling in the star quadrant. But due to some mistake on your part, because you did not invest, as I told you, in star, you need to have continuous investments done. You need continuous funds in order to continue the operations in that organization or with respect to that product. You need continuous funds when it comes to stars. Because of your underinvestment, you did not invest continuously. Due to that, what happens is, basically what is happening in star, your people want your product. Okay, there is demand for your product like anything, and you are the market leader of the product. So if due to underinvestment, okay, because you did not invest the funds, and the flow of your manufacturing is cut, and as a result the demand is not met. Like, people are demanding 10,000 units from your organization, but you, because of your underinvestment, what has happened is you could not procure the raw materials on time, and as a result you could manufacture only 6,000 units. Now those 4,000 units which are additional, 10,000 units, there is demand in the market, but you are manufacturing only 6,000 units. So now those 4,000 units which you have not manufactured, those consumers still want the product, so they will go to some other person, that is your competitor. As a result, you will lose your market share. Understanding? Basically, Star is a company who has high demand in the market. The consumers want your product. As a result, you need to make continuous investment so that your production line goes smoothly and is not cut. But because of underinvestment on your part, what happens is you could not procure the raw materials on time and your production is cut. As a result, even though the demand from the market is 10,000 units, you are manufacturing just 6,000 units. Now there is a shortfall of 4,000 units from your part. Now the consumers who want those units will obviously go to some other person who is manufacturing the same product. As a result, your market share will come down. Okay. So when a star quadrant product or business moves to question mark due to underinvestment, that is a trajectory of disaster. Okay. Now, the fourth trajectory is the trajectory of permanent mediocrity. Now, in this, what happens is it is a situation of a strategic business unit or a product falling under question mark that continues without increasing market share, and where it becomes a strategic business unit under dog quadrant. Now I told you all. Under question mark, basically you need to address all the questions which are arising. That is why consumers are not preferring your product. When you and your competitor are manufacturing the same product, why out of 100, 90 people are going to your competitor? Why they are not coming and preferring your product? Where is your product falling short? What are the things that you need to address? If these questions are not addressed basically, then what you will become? You will become a dog, because you will lose the market share, you will lose everything. So that is the basic reason why the question mark will become a dog. Now I told you question mark has also the potential of becoming a star if all these questions are addressed. If you address and make the changes, okay, this is the reason why the consumers are not preferring my product, so let me change this. If you address that, then well and good, the question mark will become a star. But if you don't address those questions, then the question mark can become a dog. Okay. Now these are the different trajectories of investment. Now based on all these four quadrants and based on all the trajectories, basically the four strategies can be derived by the organization, and they can follow any of these strategies. Now the first one is build. Okay, so build is here, the objective is to increase the market share, even if they have to forego the short term returns, like short term profits. If they are going to earn, even if they have to forego the short term profits, it's fine, but they do anything which is there in their hand in order to gain market share and become the market leader, so that their future in the market is secured. That is the first strategy. The second is hold. Here the objective is to basically preserve the market share. That is basically whatever your current market share is, just hold on to it. You don't think of increasing your market share. Okay, you just try to maintain that market share, whichever market share you have. That is hold strategy. Then harvest, it is basically increase short term cash flows regardless of long term effect. In build, what we saw, we are focusing on the long term, that is it, the future of the company should be secured. The harvest is completely opposite. Over here we are focusing only on the short term profits, we are not concerned about the long term effect. Okay. Then divest here, the objective is to sell or liquidate the business because the resources can be better used elsewhere. Now, divest is mostly used in case of dogs, all the business units and the product lines which fall under the dog quadrant. Basically, you use this divest because instead of investing more and more into those companies or into those products which fall under dogs, you can just liquidate it and sell it off and use those for question mark or for star or for cash cows where you are getting good returns. Okay. So these are the four strategies basically which can be used, okay, in order to take the decisions with respect to corporate level strategy. Now this is the first type, that is the BCG. Now let us move on to General Electric model. Now General Electric model, okay, so was developed by GE, that is GE, with the assistance of consulting firm of McKinsey and Company, and is similar to BCG consultancy group Matrix, okay, but it is more advanced. The General Electric matrix was developed by GE with assistance of consultancy firm named McKinsey and Company. It is similar to BCG matrix but it is more advanced. Okay, so the model identifies the market position and profitability of different business units based on the market attractiveness and the business unit strength. Now in BCG there was market attractiveness and market share, but in this matrix we remove the market share and we have taken into consideration something called as business unit strength, which includes a broader range of factors rather than just focusing on the market share. Basically it gives you the competitive position of each strategic business unit. Okay, so now let us see how we can go about with it. Okay. So over here, if the strategic business unit basically has high market attractiveness and its strength is also very high, the strategic business unit strength is also very high, then the strategic decision or the strategy which can be adopted is invest. Now, if the market attractiveness is medium and the strategic business unit strength is high, still it remains invest. But if the market attractiveness falls low, then the strategy which can be implemented is protect. So based on the market attractiveness and the business unit strength, whether it is high, medium, low, different strategies are suggested for that strategic business unit. Okay, so now what does this strategies mean? Okay, let us try and see what it means. The first is invest. So invest means basically investment is made on the basis of the market attractiveness in terms of growth. It is also affected by the business position. So basically it is a green sign that yes, you go ahead with investment. So basically, most of the time, investment as a strategy is adopted when the market attractiveness is either high or medium, and the business unit strength is also high or medium. Okay, that is the time when mostly invest strategy is adopted. Then comes is protect. Protect, it refers to the situation where a business does not want to make any fresh investment, rather, it is willing to have the security of whatever investment it currently has so that it does not result in losses. So, protect, it is a strategy which is usually suggested when the market attractiveness is low, and when when it is low and medium, and when the business strength is also low and medium. So when the business strength and the market attractiveness, when they fall in the medium low category, usually protect as a strategy is suggested. Under protect, it is suggesting that you don't make more investment, rather than whatever investment you have made, try to protect that investment. Moving ahead to the next decision, that is harvest. Harvest, it refers to a situation where the business wants to generate cash out of given investment. Now, usually this harvest as a strategy is suggested when the market attractiveness is low, okay, and medium, and when the business unit strength is low and medium, most of the times harvest is suggested. Okay, why harvest is suggested? It is basically a strategy where they are suggesting that rather than investing or rather than protecting the investment, now it is the time to generate cash flows from whatever investment you had made. Okay, then is the last strategy, which is divest. Divest is usually when the market attractiveness and business unit strength is low. During that time, when both of these two are low, that time this market attractiveness, sorry, that time this strategy is suggested. That is, divest strategy is suggested when the business unit strength and the market attractiveness is very low. So, divest, I don't need to explain you all. It is basically where you either have to sell off your business organization to another company, or basically you need to liquidate your company. It is the last option which is, or it is the last resort which is adopted by the organization. Now, that is the general electric matrix.